Welcome to the sixth podcast, piano podcast. That's been six. Wow. 6 months of doing this. So I got about 10 minutes before the delivery guys come and deliver what I've ordered for the house. So I also don't have a new chord progression to really play off of. So I figured, well, let's try just improvising and see what I can come up on the piano. This is usually how I kind of go about finding stuff on the piano because I still have yet to really train in chord progression to really just be able to really come up with stuff on the piano. So we'll see if this comes out well. If it does, then you'll see this version of it. And if not, then I guess not. Well, the last one, the last Pianocast I released pretty much the beginning of February, and now we're at the end of February, and a lot has changed. It's kind of crazy what's been going on. In that, by the end of February, I just made the decision to delete social media. And that was interesting. The decision behind that really came from, well, I have a goal to be sober. And I also figured, okay, well, there's the material things we can be sober from, but then I realized I really needed to be sober from the non-material things. There's a lot of thoughts that I was trying to figure out, are these my thoughts or are these thoughts that are given to me? So I figured the only way I could really find the answer to that is by, cutting off the inlets, because it wouldn't be called outlets, outlets of information to my inlet. And the results have been, I've been a lot more present. Because what would happen on social media would be, my brain would go to, who's seen my post? Do the people that I want to see my post, have they seen it already? And even though I could be present with someone in the moment, my brain was like, I wonder how many people have seen my stuff. I didn't like that. And then there was the thoughts that did repeat, and I'm like, okay, these are my thoughts. These are thoughts that I have to take responsibility over for. If I want to continue thinking them or not. I've also been able to realize where I'm at emotionally in terms of, in all aspects of emotion. I'm generally pretty joyful. But now I can see the level of sustainability that it has. Alright, I gotta switch out of this. So, not sure I like that. Kind of sounds like the other one I did. Well, what else can I say? Been a lot more present, a lot more enjoying my life. The other reason behind that too was that I'm at a place in life that I've worked for, that I've prayed for, and I wanted to make sure that I stopped and smelled the flowers, so to speak. I wanted to make sure that I was enjoying what I worked for. And they have the quote, or there is the quote, that life isn't about the destination, it's about the journey. And that, holds truth. That doesn't discount that doesn't discount the destinations. And I'm at a destination, and I wanted to make sure that I'm enjoying it before I take another journey on to the next destination. Part of having awareness is realizing that you have a prototype of the thing that you prayed for. I had a mentor that would talk about, we don't get the ultimate fantasy, but we get to have prototypes of it. We get to build prototypes of it. So I started to realize, man, I have more than the prototype. Not the whole thing, but I gotta make sure I enjoy this. Because what I've learned from the bad times is that they do pass. And as the bad times pass, so do the good ones. So it just made me to make sure that I needed to cherish the good ones. That's where I gotta get better at. Being able to just improvise and think and speak. We're in a time where we're kind of forced to self-reflect on the things that we have. Figuring it out as I go. So look around. See how many prototypes are the things that you have prayed for that you have. Life is a beautiful experience, and to the degree of the uncomforting is what makes the comforting feel so good. Well, I hope hope you enjoy this short little one. Oh yeah, been about a good 10 minutes. I think the guys should be showing up here any minute. I can see the reflection of my door, so I'm just waiting for a shadow to show up. I think until then I will just kind of mess around with what I got. I do like what I found on the piano. It's a journey of discovery for me. I can definitely use that as an excuse for not learning the ability to just learn chord progressions and whatnot. My whole life has just been failing on the piano. And more than that, it's learning how to fail on it so I can get a pleasant result. So it's a modality of failing. It's kind of that concept where it's like, it's not so important to have the room cleaned once. It's about being the person that always cleans the room. It's not about the person who comes up with one solution, yet the person that always comes up with solutions no matter what the problem is. And so kind of taking that on the tangent of failing. It's not so much about getting the success. It's more so learning how to always fail. Because you'll fail your way to success. And then there was another thing that I came across. Was that someone was saying that, success isn't important to me as much as commitment is. And we can get into, well, I guess that's how someone defines their success, and that's just a definition of a success. And that has merit. But as I've been changing and updating my definition of success, I also find that my definition has changed more and more into how consistent I can be with all my habits. And the more consistent I get, the better I feel. Those are things that no matter what happens, no matter what happens, I have the ability to stay committed to them. I have a choice, as long as I'm healthy, well, and sound in mind. There was a quote that I really recently read in the book of John. I went too quick on that one. And Jesus is talking about how he has food. Like his disciples, they come and they say, well, hey, you don't have any food. Let's get you some food. And he says, I have food. And they were perplexed. They were like, well, who brought him food? And Jesus replies, the food I eat are he didn't say eat, but the food I consume are the tasks that God has given me. Like, my food is one that you do not understand, and then he follows it up with that. And so it's like, that's really interesting, because we look at food as energy. We consume food, and we eat it, and it nourishes us, and it gives us energy. And so what nourished him and gave him energy were finishing the tasks that his God-given Father has given him. And as I'm being more consistent with my habits, and I get home from work at like 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., and I'm working, 12-hour shifts. And there is a habit that I do when I get home. It's like 5:30, and I'm tired. Depending on the kind of day that I've had, it's easy for me to just slip in bed and just like, I'll do it tomorrow morning. But as I've getting more consistent with it, I'm just like, no, I have to do it. It takes me about 10, 15 minutes, and I can mark it in my spreadsheet as I've done it. And it's almost that concept of like, this habit is nourishing. This is an everlasting food, a food that doesn't perish, something that will sustain me if I can convert it into success, whatever that definition is. And I I will have to end on that because the delivery men are here. Until the next time.